Suspected Boko Haram militants have killed at least 80 people in northeastern Nigeria. Police say roughly 150 insurgents stormed into the village of Mafa on motorcycles, shooting residents dead and setting buildings on fire. Dozens of bodies have been retrieved, but authorities say many are still missing and fear the death toll could rise. Authorities say it appears to be a revenge attack for the killing of 2 militants by vigilantes from the village. Boko Haram have killed more than 40,000 people in the northeast in the last 15 years. The group has also been terrorizing farmers in northeastern Nigeria. The militants steal crops and kidnap agricultural workers for ransom. The government recently deployed a new security force to protect the farmers, but it hasn't been enough to stop the attacks. As DW's Christine Munwa reports from Borno State, the violence is exacerbating food shortages in the region with catastrophic consequences.
Not long ago, it wasn't safe to be on this farmland on the outskirts of Maiduguri. It used to be controlled by Boko Haram jihadist militants.
Well, the location we are now, the geolocation, is best described as the Mole/Dalwa area, an area that was almost a no-go area, just like you said, because it was actually invaded by the terrorists. But with the intervention of the military and other security agencies, we've been able to stem the tide and then repel them backwards from the city.
But rural communities are under such threat that the state has deployed rangers to protect them. Otherwise, they'll be targets for theft, extortion, and even kidnapping for ransom. Now, soldiers, civilian volunteers, and even former Boko Haram fighters patrol while farmers tend their crops. But the rangers are only on duty for certain fixed daytime hours and work within a boundary set by the military. Habiba Balami and her workers start early to get the most done in the time they have.
We came here around 8. We came together with our securities inside the van. Our securities are okay. They are punctual and they do their duties accordingly. Up to the time where we are given to close, that is 1:30. We have to leave the farm. Everybody will rush and go.
But for Alaji Goni, the security is not enough. 2 of his 3 farms are beyond the military's boundary.
The problem is that there are some areas you cannot even able to go. I have 3 farms. So there is one village called Marikura. So the Boko Haram is there. You cannot able to go there even now. Since 2010, I bought that farm. So I have never been there. In 2019, I used to do it, but 2010, 2011, up to date, nobody going there. Because the Boko Haram there, they will arrest you and take you to. There will be a ransom of about 1 million, 2 million. So that's why we are not going there.
But not everyone is being so cautious. There are farmers taking risks. I'm told they are returning to abandoned land without military protection. They say it's more fertile and it's worth the money they have to pay to Boko Haram to use it. But security officials say these are the farmers that are being kidnapped and killed, and they're calling on people to stay within the area they can protect. This farmer survived an encounter with Boko Haram.
I had been planting and getting my farm ready. That's when the terrorists came. They took our cell phones and money, also from our neighbors. 3 people were kidnapped. They took them away and demanded ransom.
The insecurity for farmers is worsening an already bad food crisis in the region. The UN's World Food Programme says 3 million people in Borno State are food insecure. At this aid facility in Maiduguri, malnutrition cases have reached record levels.
Every year we see a surge of malnutrition cases, but since 2022 it has been different. So each year it increases actually, and usually like a 2-fold increase compared to the previous year. And then this year is way much higher than even the previous years. So last week was very difficult actually for our team because we got so many patients coming in and also so many very sick also. Some of them could barely spend 24 hours and they died, unfortunately. We lost a record number for a week, I will say. Almost 30-something patients died.
The rainfall has been better this season, raising hopes for a good harvest. But that will make farmers even more vulnerable to Boko Haram militants who will be looking to steal the crops they've worked hard to cultivate.
For more, I'm joined by DW's Uwaisu Idris. He joins us from the Nigerian capital, Abuja. Uwaisu, you know northern Nigeria very well. In fact, the area in question is not far from where you were born and grew up. Give us a sense of the climate there right now and the conditions people are currently living under.
The condition which people are living presently is a situation of fear, a situation of frustration, and a situation of uncertainty because of the issue of insecurity. It is rainy season where farmers are supposed to be very busy at their farms, but that is not happening. People that are managed to go to the farms are going there with a lot of fear because of possible attacks by Boko Haram that have been happening. Although the government hired what it called agro rangers, but those cannot protect people. They have not been protecting people enough. Even the security agents we have, from the military to the police to the plainclothes, they are not able to provide the protection that is needed. So there is that fear in people. Even the local government areas where the government relocated people from their IDP camps in Maiduguri, the capital of Borno State, and the other state, Yobe State, where they relocated them back. There is only within the local government vicinity that you can have that protection. People cannot travel 10, 15 kilometers outside the local government to do anything, talk less of going to the farm. Traveling between one local government to the other, you need military escort, or you just take a risk and do it on your own. Even major highways, you need military escort. So it's a very terrible condition. And this is not only in the northeast, even in the northwest where we have banditry, bandits have taken over the farm. You cannot go to the farm. If you have to you have to pay certain taxes to allow you to plant. If you come to harvest, you have to pay taxes when you are harvesting. It is period whereby some of the crops are ready for harvesting. But some that manage to plant, they are being wasted. You cannot go and take what you planted back home. So that is the situation in that area now.
Uwaisu, a question people continue to ask and will continue and persist in asking until this whole thing is resolved. Why does Boko Haram keep targeting civilians, and in this case, the farmers there?
Well, there are several reasons. Boko Haram is a group that feed on information. When they attack civilians, that is where they get large number of people. The recent attack, over 100 people were killed in Yobe State. Where do you see that number if you are attacking military or police or DSS or any security agent? How many people are they sending? How many armed personnel are they sending? Maybe 10, 15, maximum 20. So they are targeting civilians to get that attention, to show that, yes, we are still strong, even though the government said they disseminated us, we can still come back. That is number one. Number two is to create that fear within the people that we are still around. We didn't go anywhere. If you think the military or the government can provide security, they cannot do that. So when they attack large number of civilians, and then thirdly, civilians are helpless. They cannot protect themselves. Somebody with AK-47, and it is a law, against the law in Nigeria, for you to have gun to protect yourself. You have to rely on the government. So they know that this is soft target to attack civilians and get away with it. And then there is already malnutrition, there is already hunger. So they want to see that, yes, the government is failing in doing that, and hunger will continue, because when people cannot farm, what will be the result? The trade they know is about farming. And when you don't allow them to go to farm, then they are scoring a big point in their own fight to ensure that there is insurgency continued in the northern part of the country.
Uwaisu, most of us can only imagine the fear and frustration residents are dealing with. Successive governments, as you very well know, have pledged to end Boko Haram. Here we are, still talking about them. Why has their defeat proved to be so difficult?
There are several reasons why the Nigerian government is unable to disseminate or bring an end to this. Number one, Nigeria is waging a guerrilla war with these groups. It's not one group, they are scattered around and they attack and go back. It's not like a normal war whereby your enemy is on this side and you are on the other side, you can easily attack. Number two, there is issue of political will. A lot of people see it that the government, if they are serious, they can bring an end to this problem for long.